Hello guys, what is going on? My name of course is Matt from the MC Spectrum, and today I've got a pretty profound topic to be talking about within the gaming community. Today I'm going to be talking about competitive gaming. More in depth, what is going to be the dominant FPS game for competitive play? Now, previously it was Counter-Strike Go, but unfortunately this hasn't really taken off as hoped, as with a few previous Counter-Strikes. We've also got a couple of really important FPSs this year in 2014, that's COD Ghosts, Battlefield 4 and Titanfall is up and coming. But at the moment, we've got nothing really that could be a standout. Call of Duty Ghost has had a terrible rating, probably the worst COD, that's what has been argued. And Battlefield 4, it's not the best, I'd say it's probably going better than COD. It's definitely shaping up, probably at the moment, the best first-person shooter out there. But is it good enough for competitive? I think Domination and TDM aren't the best game modes. If you're going to be doing squad rush and stuff, a couple of competitive game modes, you know, it's not out yet, but it will be coming out in future. Stuff like that, the PTFO game modes, maybe they're good enough, but maybe the netcode's a bit too much of a problem. Counter-Strike didn't really take off with CSGO. Previously, with this previous Counter-Strikes, I haven't actually played them myself, but I'm aware that they were huge on the competitive gaming scene. It's a really big competitive FPS, more so than the pub side, I'd say. Battlefield 4, COD Ghost is definitely a public gaming community. It's not about the competitive gaming. Of course there is, but it's not the best supporting. There's a few different platoons like the Rival Platoon XTS now. The Rival's kind of gone away. And also in COD there's like Optic and FaZe, if I'm correct. These games aren't ready for competitive in my opinion. It's not taking off for either of them. I say they could be, definitely could be supported, but for 2014 these two really aren't ready for it. If you guys haven't heard what esports is, it's probably, definitely arguably the biggest competitive gaming like tournament and setup. It's huge, it has all the biggest clans, platoons, everything from all the biggest competitive games, which is Battlefield, Call of Duty, Shoot Mania and Counter-Strike, things like that. I myself have only actually taken part in one kind of loose competitive match with esports. That was at Eurogamer. They were giving out a few competitive games, and I took part in one in Shoot Mania, which is pretty interesting. Pretty fun little game, but I wouldn't say it's probably the most enjoyed and one that people play a lot, especially for a competitive side. Currently, I'd say esports isn't going to have much to choose from. It's just people who are into playing these current games. I personally love Battlefield. I'm not trying to diss it or anything. Call of Duty, I didn't really enjoy Black Ops. I enjoyed Modern Warfare 3 and stuff like that, but both of them, they're not anything that can go really far on the competitive gaming scene at the moment. Shoot Mania, Counter-Strike, yeah, they're definitely competitive, that's for sure, but there's not as many people playing this game and not as many to try and take from it. Competitive gaming in 2014 is going to have a bit of a struggle until maybe, I don't know, I'd say as late as summer. Come March, Titanfall's going to be coming out. Now, I'm not sure if this will be a competitive game. I haven't seen enough of it to make a judgment. I've not played it. It's not out until March, so that's probably when first time I'm going to be able to properly play it. Will it be a competitive shooter? There's a chance, but it'd be a huge step in the opposite direction. Halo is probably the closest multiplayer I could liken it to by getting in like the Mantis in Halo 4 compared to the mech suits in Titanfall. Now, Halo never took off competitively, as I've said. Titanfall has an incredibly similar multiplayer setup to that of Halo 4, as I've said. Now, the fact that it did not take off makes me think that Titanfall will just not take off at all. It's not going to be that kind of game. I think it will be a very fun game, interesting to watch, but competitive side, I'm not sure it can support it. I'd love to be wrong, because I think there is actually potential there. It's just, I don't know who will actually go and if there will be teams properly set up for this. The reasons I do think it might be able to take off is because it's going to be a fun, fast-paced game, and it's also got some of the best netcoding built into its engine. So if it did take off, there's some perfectly good reasons that you might want to use it, but there's some other bad ones that perhaps say it might not take off. However, we can't really judge yet. It's not out till March. I could probably make a re-evaluation then, and I could probably let you guys know, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. If we don't get a proper FPS game by well, competitive-wise, by spring or something. We might have to wait till summer. Destiny is the next probably big FPS game that's going to be coming out. Again, this doesn't seem like it's going to go competitive for the multiplayer. I think it's again just going to be like Halo. Perhaps it's going to be really good for its story mode and the campaign, but I'm not sure the multiplayer will take off. If we are hopeful that there will be something for 2014, I'd say if Battlefield or COD fixes itself up, it might be one of those two. I'm doubtful that COD's really going to be stepping up too much, and I think COD's really tired out its audience now, and I don't think there's going to be much to go off. Battlefield 4 has been a huge step up from previous Battlefields such as Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 2. I know Battlefield 3 was also a huge step up, but Battlefield 4 does take it to a new level. If DICE and EA can fix this game, I mean, I know they've had lawsuits and stuff, but if they can fix it up, get it out to their audience, bring them back into this game like they did with Battlefield 3, then there's a huge competitive appeal for this particular game, and maybe this one can be the dominant force. But what if there is a chance, I mean, we might not have anything till 2015. That's a long way off, guys, a whole year without proper full-on competitive gaming. Counter-Strike, there's competitive players, Shoot Mania, same with that. Battlefield and COD, there obviously still are, but how big is this competitive side? I mean, the community obviously is growing for both, but perhaps the competitive isn't. Maybe it's just going into a public little fun game. I don't really know, guys. I'm not a huge competitive player. I've played a couple of games with esports at Eurogamer. That's the most competitive gameplay experience that I've had. I do like playing kind of competitive games with my friends and a couple of servers and stuff. I don't fully take part like with level BF or anything like that, so I'm not the guy to 100% ask about it, but I am aware of what happens with competitive gaming. What do you guys think though? What will be the competitive shooter for 2014? Battlefield, Shoot Mania, Counter-Strike, COD? Will we have to wait till Titanfall? Will we have to wait till Destiny? I really don't know, guys. I want to hear your opinions. I think the direction that may happen is it'll either go through Battlefield and the classic Shoot Mania and Counter-Strike, or we might have to wait until March or beyond. But there you go, guys. Comment below, give us a like if you thought this video was good and informative. Let me know how I've done. Subscribe if you want to see a few more of our videos. And there you go, guys. Till next time, my name of course has been Matt from the MC Spectrum. See you next time.
It takes more than a crown to make a man be a king.